What's going on, people? Tebbz Weekly, episode number 21. And it's a very late start to the week for a pair of us. Today is Thursday. And it's a very late start to the day for me as well, because it's 5 to 8. I came to Dad's and I had a 20-minute nap that ended up being about an hour and a bit. But anyway, moving on. We've just finished Speed Weekend last weekend at Ipswich. That is done, out of the way. And our focus now turns to Kings Lynn and Mildenhall on the 15th and 16th of July. So not this weekend, next weekend. And we've got both the machines out next weekend. It is the Spitfire and the Corsa. I've got Gary, who's had a couple of goes in a 1300 already. He's going to be taking the Corsa out. And me and Dad are going to be going up there with the Spitfire as well, and I'm going to be in the Spitfire. Obviously our weld is at Kings Lynn next month, I believe, so I need to try and dial at least one of these cars in ready for, because we should be off the first couple of rows for the weld final, maybe the first 2 to 4 rows. So obviously we need a car that's dialed in ready for that. So today is just one of them days again. It's a late start to the day anyway, but we're going to be emptying the van, getting everything back in the garage that we use in the garage. The garage also needs a tidy up, obviously from rushing around last weekend trying to get the cars ready for Ipswich. So it's one of them days, but I think we haven't worked out yet. We're either probably going to get the Corsa in first, because there's not too much to do to that, so I want to get that in and make sure that's fully ready for Gary next weekend. So that is the Corsa in the garage now, ready to be worked on. We're just going to make a list, check it twice. Obviously Gary's racing this, so got to try and make it as best as we can for him. Last time we was at Lynn in this car, we was actually flying. So go back to the book, put that setup in it. There's a few welding bits that I need to do to it. Couple of new bars on that back left corner there. Put a seat in it, which we're going to take out the Wadham. Put a rad in it. We've got to repair the rad as well first. So we'll just make a list now, and then that'll be us done for today. Ready to start tomorrow. It's Friday, and it is 30 degrees in this garage. And we've chosen today to do all the metal work on this Corsa. That's right. We have got the gearbox mount, needs welding up. There's a crack in that. There's a crack in the upright on the front bumper that needs re-welding. Also, we're going to attempt to weld this alloy radiator. And the end result, I'm going to have to say that, or put a disclaimer that it's not ASD that's welded it up, it is me. We'll see how we get on. And also repair the passenger side door, as we've got Simewriter coming around soon to re-Simewrite the Spitfire and do a bit of work on the Corsa as well. Nearly got that back corner finished welding up and run out of gas. And we do have 2 gas bottles, and they're both out of gas. So Dad's taken the side panel off now, but obviously we can't put a new one in yet. But Dad's going to go grab the gas tomorrow morning, nice and early. As soon as they're open, he'll go grab the gas bottle, and then I'll be over. As soon as he tells me he's got it, I'll fly over here and we can carry on with the metalwork. But for now, looking at that list, got transponder, has he put that? We've got transponder to do, so I might put that in. I've got a seat to put in. Dad's doing the transponder, he just said. I'll probably go grab the seat off the Wadham now and go put that in, so I can tick that job off the list. The mold's big enough. Oh, it's tight, isn't it? You got the nuts, sir?
Yeah. All prepared.
For once. Yeah.
What?
So you need the welder tomorrow to weld an earth on there as well.
Yeah.
You got a spanner? Oh, you've got a socket.
Get the hang of it.
Yeah.
I'm not even looking at it. So many times I've done this. What you doing?
Got some shine on there.
I mean, need some more oil on it.
Okay. I can't. How many scars you got on your head? Right. I've probably seen a good few of these happen.
Yeah, worst ones.
The worst ones there. What was that one from?
That's building a car, weren't it? I had a car on its side, and the roof cut off,
Oh.
and it hit my head on on the pillar.
I've seen a few of these over the years.
And then I had blood running down my face.
Yeah, bit of clout. All done?
Yeah.
Just wired it up.
We're just going to wire it in.
What, using them silly Wago things? What's that Wago thing called?
That Wago thing's called a Wago.
Alright.
You might have heard me mention it before.
Nah.
Oh, look, just got to put an earth there.
Sweet.
Oh, there's the earth. Halo in there. Nice. Good housekeeping. Nice. Thanks.
So that is the transponder bolted in and wired in, the seat's now bolted in, the harness is bolted in, which then moves us on to putting a spool gun onto our MIG welder, which allows us to then weld aluminium. We've just got to repair a little bracket on the bottom right of the fan, but doing it this way allows us to save time by not sending it off to a professional to get a TIG welded. Obviously we need the radiator for this weekend, so that's how we do it. Ali, what was it? When I was about to say TIG.
Yeah. Ali MIG.
Ali MIG.
Or MIG Ali. I wonder if people can see the parakeets. Oh, they're gone. Oh, they're there. Parakeets in the tree.
3.5 and 8. Actually wrote big on there this time.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. what I'm going to do, because this takes ages to heat up, and there's normally a big blob before it starts melting in, so I'm going to weld here first. Just to build the heat up, and as soon as it's hot enough, it only takes a couple of seconds, as soon as it's hot enough then I'll jump on the actual bit that needs welding.
I'll get rid of the white spirit and the roll of paper on the table. New gloves someone bought you?
And thank you to the person who bought us new welding gloves after seeing me burn myself a few times now. I can't remember your name, but thank you very much. You two both know who you are. So safety first.
Kurt, got the earth on?
Yeah.
Should I turn the camera off?
No.
Should have let you do it, shouldn't I?
Right, I'll cut it out. Wire speed seems a tiny bit too fast. You see what I mean? Now it's really cold at first and it doesn't want to do anything as soon as you get heat into it. It's alright. I mean, I'm no alloy welder, but that bit in there needs doing a bit more.
It's done. We're just going to do it in there.
Yeah.
Might have to do something similar.
Right, eyes.
Yeah.
Eyes.
Yeah.
If it cracks again, we'll build it again.
Nice. Right, let's get it in.
As I say, anyone that sees that in the future, ASD did not do that. I done that. 24s or 30s? 24.
It's got to be a 30, isn't it?
Some of them are 24.
Oh, was I right? Was I right?
Which car's going to be better Saturday?
This one.
You think?
I don't know.
Well, we've never taken the Honda to King's Lynn yet. It's only ever done Mildred on.
Yeah, for us. Didn't it run at Lynn before? In a previous life?
Maybe. And this one, this Corsa last time out of them was flying.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
Stuff you need to write set up on there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Right in. Put it in.
Yeah, why not? Ticked a few jobs off. So put the battery on charge now.
Yeah. Get that done. And then tomorrow finish off the metal work. Once we've got the gas, I'll get here for about 10 and half 10.
Yeah.
And then see what the problem is with this cluster, why it kept jumping out of gear.
Yep. So we've got weld the gearbox mount,
Yeah, that's
rear corner, check the spares out.
Yeah.
Weld the plate on the side. Oh, paint.
Put on there as well about the throttle pedal. Throttle pedal is, I think we've got 2 springs on there at the minute, and it's just that little bit too hard, really, for my liking anyway. So we'll just try and sort something out with that, try and make it a bit smoother pedal. The smoother you can get it, obviously, the more control you feel like you have.
Oh yeah, it is tight, isn't it?
It just leaked fuel out of there. Just saw a droplet there. And I just see a bit of fuel drop there as well. Only one. It's the other side as well, look. It's coming out there.
Just make sure it's tightened down. Do that now.
That'll do us for today. Made a start on the metalwork, didn't quite finish it, and ticked off a load of the other little jobs. So, see how far we get tomorrow now. Right, so today's Saturday, and I actually lost my micro SD card that I use for the camera that I normally talk in. I've lost that. I don't know where it's gone, and that had the footage of me talking over what we're doing today. So instead I'm just going to do a voiceover on this and just sort of explain what we're doing. At the minute, the reason why we use bolt-on-bolt off roofs is for this purpose right here. We need to cut a bit out of the side rails, and obviously if you had your roof all the way down to the bottom there because it's welded on, then you'll end up cutting into your roof, messing your sign writing up, having to weld back over it, burning half your sign writing off. So this just makes it a lot easier, and this is one of the reasons why we make sure most of our cars, well, I say most of them, the Radham and the Corsa both got bolt-on-bolt roofs, the ones that we actually built. So the reason why we're doing this, obviously we're replacing the side panel there, and there's a big chunk out the side iron, so we're replacing them for the new sign writer that's coming to a sign writer Spitfire on Friday. And then here's me here scurfing off some paint and putting some 4mm plates, 3mm by 80mm by 40mm plates on the joins where I've welded onto the old steel. I like to do this just to make sure the joins are extra strong. Obviously I'm not a professional welder, so any extra strength that I can do, I will do. Here I'm just cutting off all the niggly bits on the bottom, all the welds that Dad hadn't quite cut off, just to make sure it's got a flat surface ready for the new bit of tin sheet that we're about to put in. Here's us just measuring it, obviously length and height wise. Oh, here's me doing a bit of tidying up, makes a change. Right, this sheet metal cutter that we got is absolutely brilliant, and obviously for the price of it, I mean, for the bigger sheet work, it's a lot easier with 2 men for this sort of size sheet work, but to obviously keep it straight and one pulling and cutting it. But if I'm just on my own and I've got to do something like this, I normally put it on the floor and cut it smaller with a disc cut first, and then get a nice fine cut with that sort of cutter. And then here, first try at it with the measurement, and it's slightly too big, but me and Dad always say better looking at it than for it, so just trimming a bit off there now. And second try, and we found out that it worked further up the other end, it fit in a bit better, still with a little bit of a persuasion, a little bit of scurfing, a little bit of cutting. And then here we're cutting it to the right length because we want the 2 joins, because it's not one full length we're putting in, we want the 2 joins to land on an upright, a chicken bar inside the car, so I have something decent to weld the sheet onto. And there's Dad playing the joke that I cut his finger off. As I was saying, just a bit of scurfing here, a bit of whacking with a hammer, getting it in there nice and tight, and then that side's done. Just measuring out for the other side now, double checking the height, tacking bits into place. Now I know we've got both the right height and they both fit in. I'm just welding it all the way along, starting from one side and working my way to the other. And then here Dad cut this bar in perfectly, which was on the other video, on the other SD card, and he was very happy about that. First cut and it went in absolutely lovely, so there's me welding it in. Not burning myself with my new gloves. And then I'm re-welding the gearbox mount that had cracked. And then I've just got to re-weld the upright on the front that was also cracked. And then if you guys remember at Northampton, which is where we raced this car last, we had problems in the final with it kept jumping out of gear as I pull it under load down the straight. And this is the first time that we've actually had a chance to have a look at it. So I'm just pulling the cluster out now to see if I can see anything wrong with it. I'm just taking this out. Yeah, can't see anything wrong with it.
Is there enough oil in it?
Yeah, there's loads in there. In there. That bit is a lot further.
I think you need to take it out and have a look.
So what I'm saying is in the diff pan, I can see this lip here is out here. This looks like it's a lot further away from the crown wheel. So it's a diff out jobby and have a look. Because we can't see nothing wrong with the cluster looks fine. So I just want to jump in here again. I didn't record us taking the diff out. I undone the diff pan, had a good look at the diff, and I could not find anything wrong with it at all. I was saying that the lip looked a bit different, but when I looked at it, the threads were all the same all the way around and it looked absolutely perfect. So I didn't bother taking the diff out any further than that. I had already taken all the shafts out though, but anyway, carry on. So just putting that drive shaft back in, the gate has come off. But we have got a tool and some of the clips for it, what they're called, steel cable ties. So I'll take the old one off and try and re-clip that.
No, these ain't.
None of them? No. Too good to be true.
Is that possible?
One way to find out. So I had in fact got the wrong packet out. That was just normal steel cable ties, but Dad did find the right ones, but we only had the small ones. We had reused all of the bigger ones already. So he's just attempting here to put two smaller ones together to see if that work.
I think so.
So with the drive shaft repaired and back in now, and we've got the front up in the air, we're going to take a look at the setup and do any tweaking we need to do from having a look at Kings Lynn last time we were out in this car.
Yeah. So basically I've just put the right spring on that corner. I just want to check what spring we've got in that corner, and then when Kurt's about next week we just put the right springs on the rear. But he's got the van at the moment with all the springs in it, so I'll check this side anyway. Too high. I'll just write that down, and then when Kurt's back with all the springs, we'll change it. So next job, this has got to be red. So I'm not going to go crazy with it. I'll just use the 2-pack paint, rub it down a little bit, tidy up a few little welds, and just blow it in. I used to do primer and all that sort of thing, and try and get a really decent finish when I had a stock rod. But these just get battered. A lot of rubbing. So nowadays I just blow it in with a colour, 2-pack, and the paint goes hard. And then once the sign writer's done his bit, it looks fine. So good enough for one of these. So that's what I'm going to do today. Right, so I'm waiting for the paint to dry on the Corsa. I'm going to move on to the Spitfire, and the job I've been itching to do is sort this fuel problem out. So I removed the carburetor, and this block, which is like nylon, was under it. What else do we have? The insulator block and some gaskets. So they were all piled on these studs, and when we started the engine up, there would always be a whistling, which I suspect is air getting in. So that would lean out the mixture and probably make the engine run hot, which it seemed to be. So I don't trust this manifold or the carburetor really. So I took it upon myself to buy a brand new manifold and carburetor, all set up, ready to go. Comes with a cable kit as well. So that's my job now, is to fit this on there. I'm going to remove, I've got a few messages saying that the one-way valve on the tank is probably blocked and not working. That's why the fuel tank is pressurising. Also, when I pump the fuel through, it seemed to be clear and then yellow and then clear again. So I'm going to put some fresh fuel in it. That's it really. I'll crack on with this. There's this hose is going to need blocking up. Need a new gasket. I'll probably have to make one for the manifold. There's a bolt missing out this engine mount down here. Don't look too bad other than that. this off of this other manifold and carb up. Stopping it going on. Just a little bit down there. Where is it? Here, there's like a raised bit. It's just catching, so I'll probably just scurf out a little piece off of the manifold. So I've taken the cable off so I don't damage it, and the gasket on the old manifold is finished. It's a mess. So to get it on today, I need to make a gasket. The gasket paper I've got, even a full sheet, doesn't quite fit. It's just not quite long enough. So if I make half for this side and have the join here, if I wasn't confident that it would work, I could run a piece of sealant there just to join them. Draw around the manifold onto the gasket paper. What I used to do when I had to make up gaskets was get a ballpoint hammer and just tap round the holes. So let's go and see if I've got one. Right, so ball hammer's in the van, which Kurt's got. So that's a non-starter. It's the only one I messed up. It'll work. Oh. Still got to nick that bit off. Right, let's put a notch in this. Right, so little notch here. Straight on.
So as this new carb setup, the fuel pickup point is the other side of the carb. So the old fuel line that was running, it doesn't actually reach around there. So Dad's had to attach a new line onto the fuel filter that's there, that silver thing, and cut it at the right length basically to get it to attach to the carb.
That's the tank's pressurised again. I've only just opened the tap. It's pouring out. Just cut that valve off. So I've had a couple of messages saying it's this one-way valve. So I'll just undo that, take it off. So I just took the valve off and it won't let fuel out. This clean bit was in the pipe, but it should have let air in. It's working, but there is a bit of resistance. We get another one. Right. Open the tap now. No pressure. I've managed to get the fuel line connected with an insert of 6mm fuel hose, and the servo pipe went straight on to the new manifold, no problem. And I've topped up the, well, say topped up, I've refilled the petrol tank. I put new fresh fuel in it, so oh yeah. Right, it's fuel coming out the power jet, so no leaks. I think it's in neutral. Sort that out tomorrow. Seems to work, but it's a bit sticky. Looks like it undoes. Do you see? So it should have let the air in. Not really anything that can go wrong, but it definitely, when I took this off, the fuel tank sucked in a load of air. Ah, it's better now. There's a little bit of resistance. I reckon this rubber was stuck on the seat. Maybe just grease the surfaces a little bit so they can't stick. Spring seems alright. Smidgen of grease. Take coil out of that. Oh. Pucker. Right, it's not letting air out or fuel out, but when blowing it that way, there's no resistance now. Right, that can go back on. So it seems like the springs are too strong. But I took a coil out and it's fine now, so hopefully problem solved. I think that's it for this week.
Thank you very much to Papa for putting the time in this week and getting stuff done. And that is the end of the video, guys. If you do enjoy these, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and we will see you in the next one.